I was just a fan who started a business, and I had a picture framing business. I was a photographer. I had an opportunity to sell product to stores, and when Pete broke the record, I went after him and pursued getting autographs. And the people that were involved with him at the time were like, "Oh, Mr. Rose is really busy." But I happened to go to a baseball card store, and there used to be a publication called Sports Collectors Digest, and in there people would advertise when they were having autograph signings. And so I drove with my best friend all the way up to New York City because he was signing in Brooklyn, New York, and we went to the show. I had cash in hand because that's normally what you would need for something at that time period. Nobody was in the Visa MasterCard back then. And so I took $1,000 with me, and I got a bunch of stuff signed. So he looked up at me and he goes, "Where are you from, kid?" I said, "Cincinnati." He goes, "Well, what the heck are you doing up here?" I said, "Trying to meet you." He goes, "Oh, here's my phone number." He goes, "Call me." So I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." It was great. And from that point forward, I started to, get a chance to call him, talk to him. When I needed things signed, come down to the ballpark, off season of the ballpark, it was a little different. He met me at like a hotel, and he would come in, he would sign stuff, I'd pay him, and he'd leave. But during the '86 season, I went down to the ballpark a number of times. He took me to the batting cage, and he showed me stuff, and he was really nice to me. He liked me because, number one, I was a smart kid, and I didn't fold under pressure. He tried to make me, cry, I don't know how many times, just because that was who he was. He was just a brash, person. And I just look back at him, I'm like, you're I'm another person, you're another person. He liked that. Mm-hmm. So that's part of what made it special between him and I, because he always respected me.
3 weeks ago, you go to his condo mm-hmm. in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And what happens 3 weeks ago when you see him?
I walked in, and he's sitting on the couch, and I think the Steelers game was on or something, so we were, watching a little football, and I told him what he needed to do. I had a stack of 500 of these back pages of this book, and he's like, "Okay." And I said, "Do we have a table?" And he said, "No." And I'm like, "Well, how are you going to do this?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to put them on my leg." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Do you want something?" Well, no. So he sat there, and he had his legs like this together, and he was like signing them. And I'm like, "Are you comfortable?" "I'm all right."
For 500 books.
500. It's a full copy of the 5-page agreement that he signed that actually threw him out of baseball. Obviously, in life, it's one of the most controversial agreements that anyone's ever signed. This essentially admitted that he would accept a lifetime banishment.
And what did he write?
"Sorry I bet on baseball, Pete Rose," 500 times.
Just 3 weeks ago.
Just 3 weeks ago.
Let me ask this. You were with Pete this last weekend. Did he seem unwell?
Let's see if I can describe a typical gregarious Pete Rose to you and tell you the difference. When 5 guys in the Big Red Machine get together, it's like an explosion. It's similar to when a few of them get together. If he sees Tony, "Doggy, how are you?" And then they go into their little mantra of what makes them so close. Not a word. "Hey guys." Oh, hey, how are you?" And Pete, or Tony, is my client, and so also is Ken Griffey Sr. and George Foster and Davey Concepcion. So I book speaking engagements and card shows for them, have been for many years. And Tony found that to be very odd, because Tony and Pete have known each other since 1960, 61.
So he definitely was not himself this weekend.
Not at all. No, not at all. He seemed very withdrawn, very aloof, just focused on the task at hand, but he wasn't normal Pete. And Tony and I both had a conversation about him because I sat right next to him. Tony sat to the other side of me, and he's like, "Something's not right."